If you recently found yourself kind of interested in Newfoundland and you're discovering that you really don't know anything about it, don't feel bad, because it's actually a place that even Canadians don't know very much about. In this video, I'm going to talk about a few facts, just a little bit of rapid fire, quick points that are interesting, that just are kind of unknown. And I have a couple of probably a little bit more substantial topics to cover, just a couple of those. So hopefully by the end of this video, regardless of where you are in the world, you'll learn a little bit more about Newfoundland. First of all, we say Newfoundland. Newfoundland. You know, you'll hear every type of pronunciation under the sun. Basically, just to simplify it for you, the way we say it is Newfoundland. Newfoundland and Labrador. If there's any accent issues or anything, please understand. I'm not picking on you. It's completely understandable to mispronounce it, but just traveling around Canada with people that are born and raised in Canada that have no idea how to pronounce the province's name, or even people on the news and people in high-profile positions calling it Newfoundland or Newfoundland or whatever else you can think of. It's just a little bit of a public service announcement here to just confirm for everybody. We say Newfoundland, okay? Simple. The official name of the province as of 2001 is Newfoundland and Labrador. Newfoundland is the island portion of the province. Labrador is on the mainland, basically borders with Quebec. In the 1920s, Quebec and Newfoundland settled the border dispute on kind of where Labrador begins and ends, and a border was drawn up. Most of the population, about 80 or 85% of the population of the province, lives on the island portion of the province, and about half of the entire population of the province, of about right now about 530,000 people, lives in or around St. John's, at least in the Avalon Peninsula. Newfoundland has its own time zone. It is kind of a strange half-hour time zone, but it is an official time zone. Portions of Labrador are on the Atlantic time zone, so the same time zone as the other Atlantic provinces, but the island portion of the province has Newfoundland Standard Time. Newfoundland and Labrador is not a maritime province. This is something that I don't think there's any controversy. There's no reason for it other than the fact that the maritime provinces were designated as such 80 years before Newfoundland joined Canada as a province. The group of 3 provinces that make up the Maritimes are Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and PEI. When you add Newfoundland and Labrador to that group, it just becomes the Atlantic provinces. So there's not like any kind of animosity that I'm aware of between Newfoundland and Labrador and the Maritimes. It's just a point of clarification. We're not included in the Maritimes, so take that for whatever it's worth. So Newfoundland joined Canada in 1949, which made it the 10th province of the country. And it's a little bit confusing to some people because it's known as this old place where people have been living for hundreds of years fishing. So how is it the youngest province in Canada? It's more of a political thing than anything else. The province, as we know it now, was a separate political entity. By the time of the Great Depression in the 1930s, Newfoundland was devastated, and by 1949, we ultimately joined Canada after a controversial referendum, which is another long story that I'm not going to touch here, but the information is available if you're interested. There's a little bit of a controversy over the title bestowed upon someone from Newfoundland. The Newfoundlander versus Newfie thing is a little bit of a contentious issue. I personally prefer Newfoundlander, and I'll let you know that. And my friends know I have no problem correcting them. If something comes up particularly about Newfoundland and it doesn't sit well with me, I'll let them know. After spending literally more than half of my life outside of the province, I've personally come into some conflicts due to the word Newfie. I was kind of addressed as a Newfie in a derogatory way. You recognize it when it happens. I've seen people that I wouldn't consider necessarily friends, but coworkers or people that I knew who I could see their perception of me change immediately once they found out I was from Newfoundland, and the level of respect that they had for me completely diminished. And you could see it happen. I associated the word Newfie with these particular people. There are a lot of people that have no problem with Newfie, and that's completely fine as well. I understand that not everybody experiences the same things, and even if you do, you handle those experiences in your own way. Some people prefer Newfoundlanders, some people prefer Newfie, and it's their choice. This can go for so many different things in our world today. Getting upset because someone asks to be addressed in a certain way, or if someone corrects you because you address them in a way that they're not pleased with, that's their prerogative, and my suggestion would be to just respect the person enough to go with what they're saying. Okay, simple. In Canada, the 1st of July is a big day all across the country, and it's a day of celebration. I mean, there's a lot of things that are coming to light in recent years that hopefully is leading people that live in this country to reflect on some of the wrongs of the past, and some of the wrongs are really big. So take pride in where you live if that's what you want to do, and celebrate and enjoy the good things, but be mindful of some of the bad things that are the harder truths of our history. There is a story that is very, very important that I'm not sure many people know. But on July 1st, 1916, during World War I, the Newfoundland Regiment experienced incredible losses on the battlefield. So I'm not going to get into all the details of what happened. I am going to link a great PDF organized by veterans.gc.ca, a government resource. I link that below so that you can actually download it and get all of the details. Basically, the story as it goes is there was 800 Newfoundland Regiment soldiers that reported for duty on the morning of July 1st, and on roll call the following day, 68 people reported. So more than 700 people either killed, wounded, or captured in essentially one fell swoop on July 1st, 1916. It really devastated the country of Newfoundland at the time. All of Newfoundland, there was only a population of about 250,000 people at the time, and there was hundreds of lives lost in a single battle. To this very day, there's things about Newfoundland that were shaped by the losses suffered at this battle. So I'm not asking you to not celebrate Canada Day if it's important to you. In Newfoundland, for at least many people, or at the first part of the day before any celebrations take place, it's Memorial Day. And it's a more somber event. Newfoundlanders and Labradorians celebrate Canada Day on July 1st. No doubt it's celebrated in Newfoundland. I vividly remember as a kid in Mount Pearl going down to St. David's soccer field and just taking part in getting your face painted and getting the little paper flags and just doing little events with the other kids around Mount Pearl at St. David's. And it was a blast. It was like kind of the launch of summer every year. Once Canada Day took place, you knew summer was basically here. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And I hope that everybody can still celebrate however they see fit. I just want to make sure that it is out there that there is this other side of Canadian history vis-a-vis Newfoundland history that involves a more reflective and somber portion of July 1st. If you learned something, let me know. Put it in the comments below if what I'm putting out there is all common knowledge, and if you knew everything that I talked about here today, you can let me know that too. I'll try to come up with something more obscure, more interesting next time if I'm putting things out there that everybody already knows. Keep you on your toes a little bit. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. If you consider subscribing to the channel, it would really help me a lot. Until next time, take care.